Hi Metalheads, willkommen zu Metalheads Forever, schon Nummer 965 am 7.10.2025. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid zur nächsten Double Feature Show. Und heute haben wir internationale Gäste aus Kanada und aus Spanien. Jawohl, und beide Bands haben was gemeinsam. Sie machen Badass Rock'n'Roll. Oder besser gesagt, Heavy Metal fürs Herz. Und deshalb ist unser Anheizer heute ein guter alter Freund von uns, der schon zweimal da war mit seiner Band, und zwar Lips, und zwar Anvil und Badass Rock'n'Roll. Wir sagen, let the madness begin. Das war Anvil Badass Rock'n'Roll. Und jetzt würde ich sagen, jetzt machen wir die Bühne frei für unseren ersten Gast und Hatred Rise und Darkness Falls featuring Henning Basse an den Vocals und danach gleich im Interview Pat Larocque von Hatred Rise. Attacke! And now welcome to the show all the way from Canada. Please welcome Pat Larocque from Hatred Rise. Yes. Greetings to Canada, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we have a friend, my friend Henning Basse is also on the album, which we talk about this album today, Echoes of the Machine. What a killer album. Love it. Heavy metal at its best. But we have always the same, actually. This is now a standard. We always want to know how everything started. Musician for life, how you started. Was music first? Was the record collection of the dead? Or what brought you? You look like my age. I don't know. What year you were born?
I was born in 78, so 47.
78. Oh my God! I could be of your dad.
Oh,
wait.
About 47 years.
Yeah, I'm 60. So holy shit. Okay, but this is now the question. 78. Then I guess you discovered music end of the 80s, early 90s.
Probably a little younger, probably around 7-8 years old, when it was actually my uncle. He was kind of into the heavier music and stuff, so he had an old record collection, a lot of Anvil, Voivod, that type of stuff.
Of course, Anvil.
So I got into it pretty earlier age, and then I was around 7 or 8 years old, and then I got my first guitar. It was, I think, around 10, 11 years old, and then just kind of started off with those bands, and then actually like evolved into the Sabbath and the Iron Maiden, and then kind of the heavier stuff after that. Though kind of went to the Slayer and the Exodus and that type of stuff, and here I am.
So can we say that maybe Anvil is the trigger to rock and roll for you? Canadian band.
Those are some of my earlier memories, like I say, going through my uncle's record collection, and definitely the Anvil and the Voivod and Judas Priest and Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, stuff like that. So it kind of ignited the fire, and kind of set me off to the path where I am now.
Addicted for life.
Yes, very much so.
And look at this now. So 4 decades later, you're still producing albums and so. How you started? You have your first band as a kid or
actually it started pretty quickly. Like I say, picked up the guitar, and then within a few years started my first bands. And actually I was pretty younger, like around 12, 13, 14 years old, but I was always in bands that the guys were like in their 20s, mid-20s and stuff like that. So it was very early age. I started playing the bars and everything, and then I moved from my hometown, which is Sudbury, which actually where I'm living back now. And then I moved from here to Calgary, and then I did some work and then played the scene there. And then from there I moved to LA, and then from LA to Boston I did some years at Berkeley, and then down to Fort Worth, Texas, and then made my way back to LA, and then did a lot of work at the record plant down there and a lot of studio playing in different bands. And then kind of made my way back to my hometown, and this is where I am now, and got my own studio here and producing a lot of music, and doing a lot of music for radio ads, TV commercials, that type of stuff.
Hopefully you still have a job in a couple of years, because we just not long ago we did a podcast about AI,
actually in the last probably two to 3 years, my income from, like I say, my main income, besides when I'm not filling in with other bands and stuff like that, like I say, I run my own studio and work with a lot of other studios doing, like I say, radio ads and TV commercials, music for TV commercials, for movies, stuff like that. But in the last 2-3 years, the income in that sector has probably declined about 70-80%, because all the major studios, they're, even them like Warner, Capitol, a lot of them, they're using AI now for, like I say, their music, for like the background music for, like I say, movie premieres, stuff like that. So it's all, a lot of the AI generated stuff is definitely becoming more and more popular with the bigger studios, I would say. So,
and you know what? I tell you, I just checked out this Suno Studio now, new Suno 5, amazing. Holy cow! This is mind blowing. Even record producer, I checked out so many tutorials. It's amazing. They stepped up the game, and this is
absolutely. But it's kind of a double-edged sword where, like I say, the technology is great and where it's in everybody's hands now. But for somebody like me who's been actually doing it physically for years, it's just very detrimental to the industry, I find.
That's what I thought when I saw this now. How they stepped up, how they're really developed now, this to nearly perfection. And I thought about this. What all about the musicians who did these jingles and this? They say, hey, I pay $30 per month, and then I produce 1,000 songs, and this is.
Yeah, exactly. And it's becoming harder for us and stuff like that to keep afloat as a studio because, like I say, a lot of people, especially, like I say, in the past where I was doing everything from like music for YouTube videos, like even recently music for TikTok videos for other people, stuff like that. And now all those people, like I say, instead of hiring actual musicians, and they're all going the AI route now. So it's, a little pretty hard to, you definitely got to be versatile and have your hand in lots of different things to keep, I guess, financially going as a musician nowadays. You can't just do it with one project alone.
It's around about, let's say 6-7 months ago. I saw a podcast. I said this already in one of the shows before. It's GT Pearl from Quiet Riot. He made a podcast about. He talked about what's happening, what's coming with AI for musicians. Live musicians, studio musicians, and he said in 2027 will be a very critical year already. So and after I saw this now, I said, oh my god! But I have good news. We have a fantastic album today. This is no AI. This is handmade. This is live. This is fantastic singers with Mike and Henning, our friend. And so let's talk about. I would say we play first the song, and I help a little bit because there's no video. I animate the cover, and the cover is so badass metal. So this I think is fun to animate with these skulls and all stuff, And this is Endless Night. Let's listen first, and then you give me a little story to Endless Night. Here we go. Yes, Endless Night. On the vocals, Henning Basse. How you got in touch with Henning? You knew him before?
It was actually through Glenn Drover, who also makes an appearance on the album and who recorded and engineered and mixed and mastered the album as well. It was, through him. I guess Henning had worked on with Glenn previously on the Walls of Blood album and stuff like that. And of course, awesome album, Withering Scorn. They got their second album coming out soon, which I'm looking very forward to. But it was a suggestion through Glenn, and as soon as I heard Henning's voice on the first demo track that he sent, it just fit perfectly. So, and that's why
because he has a range, and he has beef. Yes,
and just the feeling he has as well. Like he could tell just by listening to him and the few conversations I had, like. Henning is metal at his core and music at its core. Like the love of music that he has.
Absolutely.
It's and like I say, his voice and everything just fit the tracks perfectly. Like originally I was going to go with a different singer for every song, kind of make a compilation album type thing. And I don't know, Henning's voice just fit so perfectly. He ended up being on 8 out of the 10 tracks. So that's how happy I was with.
Yes, this interview is recorded October 2nd, and of course it's a week later. Endless Night. You write all the songs. How you do it? You give him the vocal ideas, or you say, okay, here's the music, you do something, or how you work?
Pretty much free range. Like I say, I came up with all the riffs, and Glenn kind of helped put the riffs together and cohesive songs and stuff, and then we kind of send the track off to Henning, and I kind of give him carte blanche as far as what he wants to do. And
lyrics and vocal lines, this is Henning.
The lyrics actually were all written by Sean Drover on the entire album. Like,
okay.
Wanted to focus more on the music, so yeah, Sean, Glenn's brother, also former Megadeth drummer, he wrote all the lyrics for it, and like I say, but even as far as lyrics went, it was kind of more of a bass line for Henning, and I'm a firm believer in whatever serves the song best. So I never.
It's not a script like in a movie. It has to be like this. No.
Like I say, he had the lyrics, the bass lyrics to work with, and I made it very clear that if he wanted to change any of the lyrics or change the feel of anything, switch anything around, he had total carte blanche to do that. And like I say, there was very few. I don't think there was even one instance on the album where I kind of resent it back and okay, I kind of want this or I kind of want that. It's whatever he did, it just worked out perfectly in the end. So it was
So there was not as many tries. You say okay, he sent you the first draft, or say, what do you think? I'm on the right path, or how it works?
No, it was like I say, very naturally. We sent them the kind of the finished demo track with the music and the lyrics, and
no, I mean his part. He sent you a rough idea.
Yeah, he would send back. Like I say, he would send back the finished lyric of it, not just parts at a time. He would just do the full track at once, and then send me the full track. And then, like I say, every time he just nailed it perfectly, I found.
Cool. Yeah. He's a cool bro. He's cool, and he has a lot of he's a vocal coach as well, and also I
with very highly recommended. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm happy for him. And the next one is a video. This is Cosmic Eons. We listen first and watch the video, and then once again your story. Here is Cosmic Eons.
Hearing whispers of the
Cosmic Aeons. And of course, I have the cover here. Well, I call this a badass cover.
Thanks.
This reminds me when I was young. This was the time when we went to the our record store, and we bought the album because of the cover, because you see Iron Maiden, you see Dio, or you see the cover, and you have to buy it. And this is absolutely,
and that's kind of what I wanted to have the same feel as, because now even with all the digital releases with nowadays, like I find you lose that experience with the vinyl and the physical copies, because it's like you just mentioned. I remember when I was a kid and we would go into the metal section and literally buy albums just based off of what the covers looked like, and that's how I got into some of the early Megadeth and, like you mentioned, Iron Maiden as well. And it was kind of wanted to tip my hat at that, and also it kind of blended in with the concept of the album, where kind of technology, it's kind of almost taken over human nature in certain ways, like with social media and everything like that. And also being a big fan of H.R. Giger and stuff, I wanted to get that kind of biomechanical style in there as well. So it turned out pretty good, I find.
Giga is badass. Yeah, I love this too. It's cool. And of course, the skulls also in my show, so this is a part of the show, because I am old school, and
it's nice.
It will always work. It's cool. Yeah. So nice. This cover, you had a rough idea what you want, and it looks like an angel with some wings in the back, or
it's kind of like I say, it's kind of the way, and I guess my interpretation of the way man and machine are kind of intertwining nowadays and stuff like that, hence why he's hooked up with all the machinery in the background and stuff like that. And it's like I say, now with the technology and, like we mentioned, the AI and stuff like that, it's becoming hard. And even more in the future, I find it's going to be even harder to determine what actually is AI and what people are actually doing for real as far as music and, like I say, stuff like that. So I find it was kind of a nice blend of the two, bringing the kind of the technology and the human nature together.
Yeah, I love it. That is a badass cover, definitely. So for the next for the next song, this actually I chose the demo, but then I found out, the song is also on a new album. This is Through the Storm, and all right, here is Through the Storm. Great song, and here we go. Through the Storm. Love the song.
Thanks. Appreciate it. That one actually features Mike DiMeo on vocals. He does a few of the tracks on the album, and he was actually, Through the Storm was actually the first song we had actually completed and finished at the time. So yeah, it's I find Mike did a great job on that one, and this was kind of before we had discovered Henning. Kind of brought him on board, but like I say, Mike did such a good job on the track. We decided to keep him on that one on the album. So yeah, maybe down the road we'll do another version with Henning doing the lead vocals on that one and see how that turns out as well. But I don't know, we'll see in the future.
Yeah, talk about future. How old is a Hatred's Rise?
It literally started in March 2023, and
so it's a young band.
Yeah, it was. It's not really a band per se. It just kind of started off as a solo project of myself, and like I say, kind of Glenn Drover. He gave me the kind of, I guess, kick in the pants and the idea in my head. It's like, dude, you've been playing behind so many other people for so many years. It's time to do something for yourself. So, yeah, literally from the first riff I recorded until the release date of the album was exactly a year. So that's why we kind of released the album on March 24th, because it was exactly a year to when I started this whole project.
That's why I you didn't see it, because nobody sees it. Now yes, because interview, but I already prepared the promotion for, and so I know that you actually alone. So that's I found out then. So this is the promotion, and so this will be already out when the interview is, because we have two bands on this night. We have Redshark and Hatred's Rise.
Nice.
Okay, so we stick with Dave, because I chose songs, and this you could take every song of the album, but I love it, and Rivers of Pain is the next choice, and also help out with a little bit video. Here is Rivers of Pain, featuring on the vocals Mr. Mike
DiMeo.
Mike DiMeo. And here we go. Here is Rivers of Pain.
Dance on my mind.
Yes, Rivers of Pain. Love this. The whole album, it's a killer.
Thank you.
It's heavy. You don't take prisoners with this album.
Oh,
This is
thanks. Yeah, like I say, it's all comes from, I guess, influences throughout the years and stuff like that, and playing for so many other people and touring with so many other bands. It's, you kind of take a little bit from everywhere, and it's.
Let's talk about this. You worked with who?
Well, I toured with a lot of different bands. I was on the road crew with Motorhead for a while. Same thing, road crew with Strapping Young Lad for a while. A lot of different other bands, doing a lot of session work. A lot of it I can't quite talk about because had to sign a lot of NDAs over the years and stuff like that. Because yeah, it's a funny thing doing session and studio work where it's, the only thing I could really say about it is not. Sometimes on rare occasions it's not the actual people on the album that are in the band for studio purposes. And again, it all comes down to money and stuff like that. So if somebody's taking too long in the studio, it starts costing too much money, so they'll kind of bring in a session player in the back door to get it finished and done with. So it's
I always love to talk to people, you know, who actually toured with legends, and for me, is Lemmy absolutely the legend. You know, he's the godfather.
He was.
There must be a crazy story to share. Do you have an old-time story with Lemmy?
Not so much crazy stories with Lemmy. It's just kind of weird moments. Like I say, growing up, being a huge Motorhead fan, and then like the next thing you know, like just sitting down in his apartment playing video games after a night at the Rainbow and stuff like that. So close. Wow. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Just and that's the one main thing I've taken away out of all the years being in the industry is just the friendships that I've developed over the years. And stuff like that, and it kind of means more to me than, okay, I played with these guys or I toured with these guys. It's just, like I say, more of the friendships I've developed, even like I say with Glenn as well too. Like this whole project never would have even happened if he didn't kind of give me the push to do it. And like I say, being such a huge Megadeth fan when I was younger as well too, and it's hard to believe like being friends with them nowadays. But again too, it's not everything side of that. It's like I say, that's probably the biggest takeaway I've taken over the years is just having the moments and being friends with, like I say, the friendships I've developed over the years with a lot of the people. That's
fantastic. I love this. So we listened before to the first song was Darkness Falls. How you choose the videos? Because there's two videos. It's Cosmic Eons and Darkness Falls. Was it hard to choose what songs you
It was, again, I think the Cosmic Eons one, when we did that off the bat, it was one of the first ones we had finished and completed. So it was more just getting something out of there to kind of promote the upcoming album and stuff like that. And it was, I don't know, as far as a visual point, it was one of the easier ones to do because the lyrics are more straightforward and it followed the theme very well, I find. So yeah, it was done very quickly and not much, I wouldn't say not much thought put into it, but it was just, like I say, everything came together so fast and so naturally. It's what became, like I say, it's the finished product is what you see now, but there was, not really much planning behind it. Okay, we're going to do this or we're going to go this route or anything like that. It was just very naturally and organically and very quickly done.
Yeah, so planning is the cue. What's going on with the album now? Echoes of the Machine. Are you have plans or you put a band together, or is this a studio project?
Right now, I started a few riffs and a few songs for possibly a second Hatred Rise album, possibly next year, the year after. But I definitely want to get a live band together in the next year, tour the album. Definitely like to play the songs live. But again, too, being in the industry and in Canada as well, too, the scene is very, very small to get reliable, good players, and that aren't already touring with other bands. So it's more, I do have a few people interested right now in touring, but it's more of getting all of our schedules lined up to do that when they're not touring as well. So yeah, hopefully be some live shows in the next year.
Who knows? Maybe you come into to Germany, for example, and you get Henning. This would be killer.
That would be fantastic.
My man, this was Pat Larocque from Hatred's Rise with the fantastic album Echoes of the Machine, and we listen one more time, Darkness Falls. I say thank you for the interview. All the best to Canada, rock and roll, and greetings to Henning Basse. Okay, my friend, thank you so much. Thanks. Cheers and all the best. And here's one more time, Darkness Falls, Hatred Rise, Attack. Cheers.
Lost in endless sea. This is Best of Metal, the ultimate blast from the underground. The hottest new videos, the rawest sounds, and the fiercest energy the metal scene has to offer. Every Monday night, when the clock strikes 8 p.m., it's time to unleash the beast. Hosted by your commander of chaos, Ritchie Newton. Turn it up, bang your head, and feel the pulse of real metal.
Ja, liebe Freunde, ich hoffe, ihr seid noch da geblieben. Jetzt geht es nämlich gleich weiter nach Spanien. Nicht nach Mallorca, nicht nach Gran Canaria, nein, nach Barcelona geht's jetzt. Und zwar Redshark mit einem coolen Gast. Philipp, der Gitarrist, ist hier heute. Und er wird etwas erzählen über die Band Redshark. Und hier ist der geile Song Beware of the Shark. Und danach gleich im Interview. And now welcome to the show, all the way from Barcelona, Spain, beautiful Barcelona, Spain, guitarist Philip from Redshark. Here we go.
Hi, how are you? It's an honor for me to be in Rockcast show.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very, very cool. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's unusual time for a metalhead, but you did it. And thank you so much to be my guest today, and gives us a little stories what is around what's going on in the world of Redshark. Cool name. And I saw it the first time I played you in the Best of Metal, and I liked it very much. So I asked you, please come to the show, and you said yes, we want to be part of the show. And because this is for me heavy metal, this is the true metal, and I see you have a Kiss shirt on. So because we start the show always the same way, I want to know who is my guest. So I want to know how everything comes together, how you became a metalhead, what was your first band you fell in love, how came rock and roll in your life. And so this is the first question. Philip, give me your backstory a little bit in a short story. Give me the story, what's going on, how you became a metalhead. What was the first band you ever loved?
Okay, perfect. Redshark, the start of Redshark is in 2000.
No. Redshark comes later. How you became a metalhead, when you was a kid or when you was a teenager?
Okay, well, my story in the okay. Yes, I start to listen rock bands. I start with the rock bands like Kiss, like Queen. Queen is one of my favorite bands. Rolling Stones, AC/DC. After that, one day I discovered two albums that in a book. I had a guitar book with guitar lessons book called Psicópatas del Mástil from Salvador Domínguez from the Spanish band Banzai. Salvador Domínguez from Spanish band Banzai wrote this book, and in this book he recommends some albums. Two albums that he recommends is a tribute from Ozzy Osbourne and Unleashing the East from Judas Priest. And this is the two first album that I bought with my money.
Okay, so what Ozzy album? From Ozzy Osbourne, what album?
There is the tribute of Ozzy, the tribute of Randy Rhoads. It's a live album to tribute to the death of Randy Rhoads. And after that, I discovered a lot of heavy metal bands like Iron Maiden, Accept, Saxon, Rainbow, Running Wild.
The best. Yeah.
After that, I discovered a lot of bands of US power metal bands like Metal Charge, Agent Steel, Riot, Sabotage, and finally, I like so much also the extreme metal, like death metal, with bands like Death, Celtic Frost, Venom, and nowadays I listen a lot of music. I like a lot of music, pop music, electronic music, funk, disco. I like all music. Reggaeton, no, I don't like reggaeton. I hate reggaeton, sorry. And I don't like rap or hip hop, but yes, I listen a lot of music. The curiosity is that I bought with 15 years, 15 years, I bought the Human from Death, and I didn't like this album with 15 years, but 8 or 7 years after, when I sold the CD, I listened the album for second time with 21 or 22 years old, and with 20 or 22 years old, I loved the album.
That's normal when you get older. The same with me with grunge. I hated grunge in the 90s, and now I not say I love it now, but now I appreciate much more the music. Before not. Before I was a completely metalhead from the 80s, But same with thrash. Thrash was not on my agenda in the 80s, but now like Overkill or Metallica, Now I love it. It's. I think the older you get, the more you appreciate the music, and it's cool.
Yes.
Beware of the Shark. This will be our kick-out song. So we're not talking about this now. We go right to the next video, and this is Kill Your Idol. And I play the video first, and then you tell me the story. Okay?
Okay. Perfect.
Here's Kill Your Idol.
Rushes all over you.
Kill Your Idol. So you're the guitar player. Who composed the songs, or how you work in a band? Somebody brings the riff, or somebody brings a complete song, or you jam. How you do it? And what is the story to Kill Your Idol?
Generally, the songs are composed by me or the other guitarist, Javi Bono. Javi and me compose the complete songs. For album, I compose 7 or 6 songs for me, and 2 or 3 songs for him. The lyrics are composed by Pau, the vocalist. Some lyrics I composed by me or Javi, and any lyric is composed by the bassist Chris.
But so what is the story? Kill Your Idol. What it means? Kill Your Idol.
Yes, Kill Your Idol. It's composed by me, and the lyrics by Pau.
And what's the story? Because I remember Kill Your Idol. This was on the shirt of Axl Rose, right? With the Jesus picture on the shirt in the 90s, right?
The story of the Kill Your Idol in the lyrics talk about it's a critic against the idols that I think that the metalheads, the fans of the music fans or metalheads, I think that he overrated a lot the idols, and I think that we don't have to idolate a musician. I think that it's important that you have influences of some musics or bands, but till a limit.
Don't take it too serious, like this.
Sorry.
It's like don't take it too serious.
Yes, of course. It's a serious. It's a serious thematic of lyrics, and the lyric thematic of this song.
All right. Okay. The next one video it's sounds dangerous, called "Burn Your Flag," and let's play first. It's a lyric video. First, "Burn Your Flag," and then you tell me what's going on with "Burn Your Flag." Okay? And here is "Burn Your Flag."
Your life is the only refuge, but never lose. Your dream.
Burn Your Flag. Great song. I love all your songs. It's really, really cool. Like it. So for me, true metal. This is my heart. Metal is my heart, and it's a metal head forever. So, Burn Your Flag. Is there a short story to Burn Your Flag?
The story of Burn Your Flag, these lyrics and the music is for me, and the song it's against the system, and the politics, against the system, the politics, and it's an anarchist song.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I have here a picture, and you tell me this is the lineup right now.
Yeah, this is the current lineup.
Okay. Then you tell me who is who. I know in the middle is the singer because I remember from the video. So on the other side, it's I guess the guitar player, right?
Yes, guitar player, and Javi Bono in the other side. In the left, Javi Bono, the other guitarist. In their right, no, in their left. Sorry, in their left. In the left of Javi Bono is the drummer Alan Pau, and in my right is the bassist Chris Carres.
Okay, very cool. So, my friend, of course, we have one more time Beware of the Shark. And this is the newest single from the band, right? Beware of the Shark.
Yeah. With this song, I influenced a lot of extreme metal. I have another band called Inverted Cross that I play the guitar, and this is a black thrash song. And the music of this song had to be for Inverted Cross, but finally I adapt the riffs and the songs to be a Redshark song.
Philip, thank you so much.
Thanks to you
for a short interview, but I love the music. Redshark, it's definitely on my radar. I will follow you and give a regard to the rest of the gang.
Thanks
stay heavy,
you,
stay healthy, and keep rocking, my friend. Das war's, Philipp. Und hier draußen haut's ein Like und ein Bier raus für den Humpen hoch für den Philipp von Redshark. Und hier ist Beware of the Shark. Cheers.
Diese Show wurde euch präsentiert von Newton Artworks. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you for watching. We salute you.